Hello viewers, welcome to RK Keynotes. In the previous video we have seen how to download NetBeans with JDK and how to run your first Java program using NetBeans IDE. In this video we'll talk about how to use breakpoints, how to debug your program, and how to view the execution of the program step by step. So the example which I have taken for this demonstration is I'm going to print even number. Over here you see this this is my file. Print even is my class name .java. So this is my file which is under the folder unit1. So the package got created in the name of the folder, that is unit1, and here I'm gonna import a package, that is import java.util.scanner is a class. We'll say superclass to accept input from the user. And if you want to get to know the different types of classes under util package, you just want to type import java.util. Then it will list. Basically notepad you can't see all these things, so that is why we are using IDE to make our programming easy. And so these are the different types of superclasses available under util package. As of now we are going to explore scanner. There are a few other methods to accept input from user. We'll explore those things later. So I'm going to use scanner here. Okay. So this is my class with class name print even. You know that class name and file name should be same, as the file name is same here, print even. So I'm gonna have a main method, and I'm gonna accept all these things in string arguments, and there should be at least one main method in a program. So the JVM will look for the main method first of all. So it is something like our head, right? And I have got two variables, limit and I. So under the data type int, and using scanner I'm going to create a reference variable, that is, this can be anything, s1, s2, in, whatever you want you can mention here. And using new operator I'm going to create an object because I want to store all my inputs, right? And within this scanner I'm going to pass system.in, which is like system.input. So whatever you type in the keyboard, which will be accepted by this scanner. And so first I'm asking the user to enter the limit, and he's going to, so we are going to type something right through keyboard, and that should be, that input should be stored in this variable called limit. So limit equal to so using what? Using scanner, that is the reference of the scanner in dot next int you need to mention. And if it is a double here, then you need to write next double, d caps, I caps, okay, here. And if it is string, then you need to just write next, not next string. Okay, so these are the differences. And as it is case sensitive, this string s caps, scanner s caps, and when it comes to these kind of things like int, double, within this after next, then you need to mention it as caps. Alright, so now the input is accepted, and this is just I'm printing even numbers in printout, and here comes the for loop where I'm gonna start from I equal to 1, I less than or equal to limit. So let's say if my limit is 10, it is going to loop for 10 times, right? And meanwhile, while looping, then it is going to check a condition like if I value, that is mod operator I'm going to use, to double equal to 0, then it is going to print. If it is true, it is going to print the I value. If not, then it is going to skip this and it will go back to the for loop, and then it will increment, then it will again check the condition. So this is what the cycle, right? So first let's execute this program and check the output. I'm gonna run here, right click and run file. So it is going to run to build the application. Then once if it is built, you will be getting the output here. So enter the limit, that is 10. So even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So now we just want to know how it is executing. As I said that we're gonna place breakpoints, and we're gonna debug the program, and we are going to debug the program to view the execution step by step. So first of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna minimize this. Okay, so I'm gonna set a breakpoint here. If you want to set a breakpoint, you can set breakpoint anywhere. So over here, if I want to set, you need to click on the number 28. And if you want to set multiple breakpoints, you just want to click on 32 like this, so that you can set multiple breakpoints. As of now, I'm going to deal with single breakpoint. So after setting this breakpoint, what you want to do is just right click the program, and basically we used to run the file. Underneath this run file, you can see debug file. Just click on debug file. Once if you do this, these options will get enabled. You see this, right? And also in the output window you have got something like enter the limit, so which means that we have set a breakpoint here, right? So it will execute until this line. Okay, so which means that it read all these things and now it is asking enter the limit. So I'm going to enter the same limit like 10 and I have pressed enter. You see this in the output window we have got these two things, enter the limit, that I have entered 10 and even numbers. Till this it has printed. Okay, so it stopped over here and you see this, these are the things it read. So static, that is public static void main, arguments, string arguments, then this is scanner, right, we have created, and the limit just now we have entered, that is the limit is 10 here. You see this. Okay, so now we're gonna do step by step execution. So these are the options. If you debug you will be getting these options like finish debugger, pause, and continue, step over expression, step into, step out, and run to cursor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this option step over. So if I click this, now the I value is 1, right? It is going to assign 1 and now it is getting into this for loop, and you see this here the I value got updated, now it is 1. So 1, you see this here the I value is 1, so 1 mod 2 equal to 0 or what. So if it is true then the I value will get passed here, then it will print, if not it will go back. So if it is true, if this condition satisfies, then this green color row will come to this line. So if not, it will go back to this. So let's see that. So I mod 2 is not true, right? So it didn't come to this line, it just jumped back to this for loop. Fine. So now again I'm going to increment this. So now the I value will get incremented. You see this here, the I value is 2 now. If I place my cursor here, the I value is 2. Okay, and I'm gonna step over again, which means that now you see this, the condition is true, so that it came over here. So now the I value is 2, it is updated, right? So it will print the I value. Fine. So now again I'm gonna run this, it gone back to the for loop. So as we know that I value is 2, so now again if I run this, the I value will get incremented. Yes, it is incremented here 3, and you see this, if I place your cursor, the I value is 3 and still. So I'm gonna run this. So the condition is not true, so it gone back. Then now I'm gonna increment again, so the I value will become 4, right? So you see this, the I value is 4 now, so the condition is true, so that it came over here, and then it will execute this, it will print this, and it will go back to the for loop again. So this will continue until the condition got satisfied. So this is how you can set a breakpoint and you can view the execution, or you can view the flow of execution. To come out from this debugging option, you just click here so that it will stop everything. So it will come back to the normal position, and you can remove the debugger if you want. Then you can do actual execution. Hope you understood how to set breakpoints and how to debug a program and how to view the execution flow. If you like the video, hit the like button and do subscribe my channel. Also do share with your friends. If you have got any queries or feedback or suggestions, do let me know in the comment section. I'm happy to assist you. Thank you and thanks for watching the video.